Sometimes you look at life and you try to figure out what's going on with society. Three foundational Black Americans between the ages of 12 to 15, pretty much charged with the essaying of a child. With all the problems that I see in the world, to think that a 12-year-old was violated by three ninjas. 12-year-old girl was forced, kidnapped, and violated. And word on the street, based on the story, these young men, these kids will be charged as adults, which mean they're going to be in a prison with men. So you know what's going to happen to them. Let's take a look at the story, find out what's happening. All right, get the friendly old laptop out. And good afternoon to everybody. As you join in on the show, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new. So let's see what we got. See what we got here. You see three suspects, ages 12, 13, and 15, were initially arrested after the alleged rape that happened on June 18th, 2025. But records show two of them, the 12-year-old and 13-year-old, were booked into Metro West Detention Center on Thursday to face adult charges. This particular news article was published on February 27th, 2026. Right, so let me continue on. Three young suspects are facing charges in the rape of a 12-year-old girl at a community garden in Miami last year, police said. So this happened in Miami, where these animals, these foundational Black Americans, right, decided to take this innocent girl and violate her. Now, again, and here's the thing, they only stopped when they heard the father calling out for his daughter. I guess the father was looking for his daughter. And when they heard the father, they stopped and they all ran, or whatever the case is. If if I was in a situation like that and I catch one of you young ninjas violating my daughter, only God knows the level of pain you're going to experience from me. I don't mind going to prison for stuff like that. I'm going to make you have some pain, excruciating pain. And then I'll gladly turn myself in. That's the type of stuff that you don't deserve prison. You deserve death. There should be no prison time. Anytime anybody violate a child, they deserve death immediately by the family, meaning that the family get to come together and they could just do whatever they want to do to you to render judgment. Forget all of this courtroom and nah. Forget all of that. We get to execute judgment on you. That's how the law's supposed to be. See, the laws in America, they're all mixed up. You know what I mean? Nah. Once you break the law, once you commit a crime like that, essaying a child, you're supposed to die. Now, I don't know if the 12-year-old is white, black. I don't know. You know what I mean? It doesn't really matter what their ethnic group is. But what I do know is that these young men were charged as adults. So a 12-year-old is going to a man prison. You know what's going to take place in there. That 12-year-old is going to be a woman in prison. Trust and believe that. What is going on in the world where kids are sexually demon possessed, worrying about having sex to the point where they're graping girls? We weren't thinking about this when we were kids. I was not thinking about these type of things. Just that thought of, hey buddies, hey, let's go get Christine and let's throw her in a pit somewhere and let's violate her. What? Bro, these youths are demon possessed. They're demon possessed right now. Let me continue on with the situation. Again, as you joining in, be sure to hit the like button. All right. So it says the three suspects, ages 12, 13, and 15, were initially arrested after the alleged rape that happened on June 18th, 2025, but records show two of them, the 12-year-old and 13-year-old, were booked into Metro West Detention Center on Thursday to face adult charges. Both the 12-year-old, Josiah Jones, and 13-year-old, Nelson Nunez, appeared in adult court where a judge ordered them held without bond until their next court appearance. Records showed the 15-year-old, Xavier Tyson, had an arraignment hearing in adult court scheduled on Friday. According to arrest records, Jones is charged with aggravated battery and false imprisonment. Nunez is charged with sexual battery, with sexual battery on a minor, by a minor, and kidnapping. And Tyson is charged with sexual battery, false imprisonment, and lewd and lascivious uh, conduct with a child. According to the arrest reports, the victim said she was leaving a friend's house on Northwest 3rd Avenue when she saw the three suspects and a witness. She said Nunez grabbed her and took her to the Green Haven Project at 1160 Northwest 2nd Avenue, a community garden in Overtown. The girl said she was screaming as Nunez took her to a couch in the garden as the other two suspects and witness followed, the report says. She said Nunez sexually battered her as the other two suspects assisted. So the report says. So now when we put it together, Nunez was the main one that took this girl's innocence. The other demons were assisting by holding her down. This is why we got to change these laws in America, man, where you could just go and execute the guilty. Because I don't understand how a father is able to go through with a court process knowing that his girl was violated. I just don't. I won't be thinking about nothing else but severely damaging whoever did that to my kid. I'm serious. Nothing else won't matter. My life won't matter after that. The only thing that matters to me is vengeance. You understand me? I would be so angry nobody could stop me. They got a lot of fathers out there that would hurt somebody if you play with their kids. This ain't a game. They assisted holding her down while Nunez was violating her. And you know what's even more diabolical about this? These young men put rocks in her mouth. Rocks. They put rocks, stones in her mouth to prevent her from doing this, to prevent her from screaming. They put rocks in her mouth, guys. Rocks that have dirt, ants, and bugs. They shoved this in her mouth to prevent her from screaming. So it goes on and it says the girl said she was screaming as Nunez took her to a couch in the garden as the two suspects witness followed, the report says. She said Nunez sexually battered her as the other two suspects assisted, the report says. The witness didn't participate, the girl said. The girl told investigators Nunez only stopped when they heard her father calling her name and they ran off. They ran off. And see, this is why when it comes to all of this foundational black American garbage, it just infuriates me because they never talk about these topics, guys. They never talk about the issues that blacks do on blacks. And then again, I don't even know who the victim was. Could have been a white girl, could have been an Asian girl. You never know. Could have been a young black girl. It doesn't really matter. A victim is a victim. But the thing is, what I notice about social media with a lot of these cult members is when you have these type of stories, they never address them. You know, they never address these stories. A young girl was essayed, violated, and you won't hear Tariq Nasheed talk about this. You won't hear Umar Johnson talk about this. You won't hear none of these uh, foundational Pan Africanism charlatans. You would never hear them talk about this. They don't care. None of this stuff matters to them. I got to be the one that always do the dirty work. You know, I got to be the one that always come out to do this. Because here's the thing: even the people that claim they're a part of this FBA movement, you don't see them on their channel addressing this. They don't address it because none of this involves white people. Because remember, the FBA group is racist. So, of course, they're not going to talk about these topics because talking about this, it just makes black people look crazy. And it's not that it makes black people look crazy because I'm a black man myself. I don't look crazy. I'm a father, I'm a husband, I'm on my job. So it doesn't bother me to hear about this story. But at the same time, I have a responsibility to address these topics, you know? And I find that when I talk about these topics, the black community get upset with me. The white community, they don't get upset with me. Nobody gets upset with me but the black community when I talk about these issues. It's almost as if though you're not supposed to hold anybody that's black accountable. It gets really crazy. It's almost offensive to black folk when you shine the mirror. They don't want to hear that, you know? It's amazing. Um, Let me see what we got. Shout out to Forever Studios for the 18-month membership. Appreciate you coming through. Shout out to Caramel, Kimmy Kim. Um, Somebody says you're starting to lie, Ringo. You have no proof. Now you're acting like a plantation. See, this is what you get from these animals, guys. This is why when it comes to black folk, fam, um, they got serious issues, man. Where in this live stream have I lied? I'm literally reporting the news. They don't like when you talk about stories that involve black people. They don't like that. If you don't like it, leave. What are you watching me for? What are you watching me for? All skin ain't kin. You lied. They were FBA. What do you mean lied? Why are you so invested in that? That's the question. The question I have with you is why are you so invested? Why does that matter to you? Why are you so triggered by this? Because you're an enabler. You condone sexual assaults against children. You don't like to deal with that. Absolutely sick. And see, this is why we got to really get rid of these particular type of individuals from the community. Guys, when you have children being violated and you see people in the live chat talking like that, y'all supposed to go at them. Y'all supposed to be in the comments giving that person major pushback, not letting them just talk crap. That's crazy. Those are the PDFs in the community. Those are the pedophiles. Anytime you see somebody not focusing on the topic and they're trying to distract from the subject, that's a pedophile right there. That's a weirdo. We're talking about children getting violated. This person is worried about sense. Let's get back to the report, guys. So it says that the girl told investigators Nunez only stopped when they heard her father calling her name and they ran off. So once the father, that means this happened right around where she lived. They violated this young girl probably in the proximity of where she lives. And they heard the father and they ran off like cowards. They didn't stay. They didn't stay to meet the judgment of their father. They pretty much went on and just ran off like cowards. And to the moderators, when you see trolls spamming, block them, right? Just block them, right? We don't need those animals over here, right? Because a lot of these people that you see that come to the live and they post stupid stuff like spamming the chat, doing all of that other stupid stuff. Um, just get rid of them. Just get them out of the way. You know, it don't even make no sense. Let me see who this is. Um, da, 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 da. You said that's sick and evil of these three individuals, and it's not just. Let me see. Um, yeah, it is. It is. It's crazy, man. So let me see what else we got. Um, so they pretty much ran off. They ran off once they seen the father. Now, what if the father would have got a hold of them? What if the father would have seen this? What if the father would have took hold of what was going on? What if he would have did that? You know, then it would have been a whole different story. You know, notice the trolls, guys. The trolls are literally going crazy. The trolls are literally losing their minds. Let me just kind of just stop to talk about what you're seeing in the comments, right? When you see all of this weird activity going on, guys, when we're talking about something serious like this, What it tells me is that in the community, our people, they don't want to be accountable for anything. They literally ignore topics like this. They ignore them when there's victims. Kids are being affected and adults are ignoring these things. You got trolls that are just trolling in the comments on a serious topic, guys. Y'all can't see what I got to deal with. And that's coming from the FBA community. I keep telling you, man, these cults are weird. They just, why are they watching me for? I don't know why they watching me. They're not welcome here. You listen, you watching me is actually helping me because you're giving me engagement. So I'm literally in my mind like, if you don't care about the story, if you support what happened to the child, you're a weirdo. You're sick. You know, this is crazy, man. Absolutely sick what's going on, man. But this is the type of world we live in, man. We live in a world where people can't mind their business because they're not doing anything to solve the problems. So what's the issue with me? They don't like the fact that I'm talking about it because by me addressing the situation, I'm bringing awareness to what is going on in the world. You know, a 12-year-old was violated, and the black community, primarily the FBA community, they're not addressing the situation because, again, it's something that they feel makes us as a whole look bad. Well, it's not making me look bad, but the point is, why is it that the story is something that trigger them? Like, why do it make them feel some type of way? What is it about these type of stories that make you feel like I'm a bad guy for reporting on it? What should I talk about? Should I talk about white people? Would that make you feel better? I'm not here to talk about that. That's not the story. The story is about three young animals that decided to take advantage of a girl. And I would think that as adults that are viewing the show, that would concern you. But for some reason, being that it's three young black animals that did this, you're upset with me. That's crazy. That would make you a pedophile. That would make you an enabler of predators that are violating kids. Because here's the thing, if it was an Asian man, would you care? If it was a white man, would you care? If it was a Russian man, would you care? It's like nobody cares. You know what I think it is? I think it's not entertaining. It's not entertaining to know that it's black youth that are doing it. I think that's why uh I think that's why people are more concerned about me talking and addressing these issues because it's not as entertaining because it's three black youth, you know? Now, notice somebody said nobody cares because this story won't be alive in 1 month. If somebody did that to your child, would you feel the same way? If somebody did this to your kid, would that be the way you would be communicating on social media? Or will you you would keep this story alive? See, only in the black community, guys, would you get these kind of comments. Only in the black community. Listen, they're the only group that turn a blind eye to this type of evil. They turn a blind eye. Do you know how many young girls? Listen, if I was to do a poll on the amount of black women that are adults that have been essayed, violated, touched by a family member, touched by an uncle, somebody, you'll see 1,000 women raising their hands. This is an ongoing problem in the black community, and nobody want to address it. Nobody want to address the amount of trauma women are carrying right now. And some of you ladies, you know what I'm talking about is true. You remember what happened when you was a kid. You remember your trauma. You remember the issues that went on. You know it's real. Um, I would go as far to say 8 out of 12 black women in America been essayed, sexually assaulted, touched, raped, you name it, by somebody close in the family. 8 out of 10. You see that? And it's something that nobody want to talk about because we want to appear as if though everything is perfect. Notice a clown says, prove it. You sound like a pedophile. When you say stuff like prove it, you're a pedophile. Anytime I see comments where people are like, prove it, that's a pedophile. Y'all got to mark them. When you see those type of comments in the comment section, you got to mark those people, screenshot their comments, remember their username. That's a pedophile. You know? You said why I say they're FBA because that's what you believe you are. You believe you're foundational black Americans. Remember? So if you believe that blacks in America are foundational black Americans and they're foundational black Americans, what's the problem? Why does that matter? Why does it matter? Why are you so triggered by that? Why does that bother you? So you don't want no solutions. You don't want to solve the problems, right? You don't really care about what's happening. You're just focused on stuff that don't even make no sense. It don't make no sense to me. You understand? Because I'm trying to focus on what makes sense to me. It seems as if though people don't want to admit the truth. The truth is we got a lot of unresolved problems, a lot of unresolved issues, and it's like nobody want to address none of this stuff. Nobody don't want to deal with these issues. Why is it that most of the people that are in the comments are not focusing on solutions or addressing these issues or even bringing awareness to this? You have people in the comments saying, oh, this story won't even mean nothing in 1 month. That's why these type of situations keep going on. Because why? In the black community, we don't address these issues. We don't hold nobody accountable. Um, we don't bring awareness to none of these problems. So consequently, you got kids now doing this. You would think that it would have been some grown man, but no, it's a 12-year-old. A 12-year-old, a 13-year-old, and a 15-year-old did this egregious act on a 12-year-old girl. And rather than the community come together so that we could address these issues like adults, instead we want to literally play this little game like it's not important. Wow, hey, I didn't know that it wasn't important. I didn't know. I thought that the community would be concerned about stuff like that. I didn't know. See, only in the black community will you have issues like this and everybody act like it don't exist. Think about how many kids are being affected by stuff like this and nobody's talking about it. Like I said, I got 4 daughters. You mess with my daughter, you going in a box, period. I don't like those kind of people. I do not like PDFs. I don't like predators. I don't like none of these type of individuals. Anybody that's messing with a child deserve to be unalived, gotten rid of, put them in a box somewhere, and get rid of the key, put them underground. They don't belong in here. They don't belong in the world. They're dangerous, you know? So I'm really trying to figure out, why is it that adults that I'm communicating with don't even care about a child that was violated by three animals? And then when I call these three children animals because of what they did to that child, you're going to get upset with me because I'm calling them animals. These were demons. What would possess a 12-year-old, 13-year-old, and a 15-year-old to violate a child? Only a demon would do that. But I see it's not important to you guys. It's not important. I guess it's important if somebody else talk about it. I guess if you go to another platform and hear somebody else talk about it, then it'll be meaningful. Not when I talk about it. When I talk about it, it's a bad thing. When I talk about it, it's offensive. It's just, it's not right when I talk about it. All right. Let's see what else we got with this particular story. So it goes on and it says, um, detectives interviewed the witness who confirmed the victim's story and said he didn't intervene because he was outnumbered and afraid of getting beat up, the report said. So the witness that was there didn't intervene because he was afraid of being beat up. That's cap. That's a lie. That person need to be charged too, because they could have ran and got help. So it says the Greenhaven Project said in a statement Friday that they were deeply saddened and disturbed by the tragic incident that occurred on our premises. So this thing happened at the center, at the particular center, guys. So they most likely got camera footage. They most likely got camera footage of what took place. It says, while while the individuals involved are minors, we unequivocally condemn this behavior. Such conduct is completely contrary to the values of safety, respect, and community that our organization works diligently to uphold. We support the appropriate legal process and accountability in this matter, the statement reads. It says the GHP maintains uh, perimeter, perimeter security measures, including fencing and protective barriers, and we are fully cooperating with law enforcement as they continue their investigation, they said. So in other news stories and articles in regards to the story, they said that these animals placed rocks inside of her mouth. So she was choking on rocks and it was preventing her from screaming. They filled her mouth up with rocks, guys, while they were doing what they were doing. She's choking on rocks. She can't scream. They're holding her by her neck, holding her arms. They're doing this evil. And yet, when I do these videos, people are upset with me. Doesn't make no sense, guys. You hear the background? Absolutely amazing. But then again, that's the world we live in. This is why I'm the way I am, guys. This whole world is it's just sad, man. So who do we blame in this situation? Who do we blame when a 12-year-old is essaying children? Who do we blame? Do we blame the parents? Do we blame the parents? I mean, you can't really blame the parents. You can't. You got to blame the predator. The predator is at blame because it's learned behavior. How does a 12-year-old know what to do to carry out such an act? They're watching it on social media. They have access to this and they go to social media and they learn how to do these things. You know, absolutely crazy. Let me block this dumb person here talking about now your videos being flagged. You just block your dumb ass. You sound like an idiot. Imagine that, guys. Here I am bringing awareness to an ongoing problem. And you have people in my comments saying, now your video is being flagged. And I'm reporting the news. Do y'all not see the problem with the black community? Y'all can't see what's going on? The people that are voicing the issues, they want to silence those people, but they're not trying to stop the predators from violating the children. The predators are protected. The whistleblowers, we got to stop them. This is why a lot of people just don't care anymore. I'm trying not to be that person, guys. I really am trying to be the voice of reason. I'm really trying to be that guy that cares, that want to see a difference. It's very hard to do when this world is evil. When people are evil. Everybody's evil in today's day, guys. It's just really, really sick. You could just be minding your business and people are just evil everywhere you go. Absolutely amazing. That's why I stay to myself. That's why I don't talk to nobody. That's why I just stay to myself, mind my business, do my own thing, because everybody is weird, man. Humans are not the same anymore. People are judgmental. People will judge you. They don't even know you, but they'll judge you. Um, Nobody sits down and talk no more. Neighbors are not neighbors anymore. Friends are not friends anymore. Family are not family anymore. The world is not the same anymore. Everything is destroyed. This is why most people just stay to themselves now and just don't want friends. They don't interact with nobody. I mean, think about the world, man. It's just sick. Imagine living in a community and nobody talks to nobody. Imagine if something happened to a child. Nobody won't even care because nobody talks to nobody. Nobody won't intervene. Nobody won't do anything about nothing. That's how sick the world is right now. The world is sick, guys. It really is a horrible place. And, this is why when it comes to uh, family, family is important. We need family. We need this. We need that. But it's just, it's really, really bad, man. Because here I am speaking truth about a story and the community don't care. The community don't care, guys. And what it does for me, it's like maybe I shouldn't be talking about these videos. Maybe these kind of stories is just not it's not good because the black community don't care about this. Maybe I'm wasting my time. I thought that, bringing awareness to these topics would be interesting for discussion purposes, but I see that all it does, it just brings hostility. It just causes people to be angry. And I'm trying to figure out what why are you angry with me? You're not angry with the predator. You're not even concerned. So it's okay. It's so basically what you're saying is it's okay in the black community to protect predators. That's what you're saying? I thought we were supposed to get rid of the predators. I thought predators are supposed to be arrested and charged. Why is it that in the community they protect the predators and defend the predators? Why they do that? I should be supported all the time. wow, I'm glad you bringing awareness to this, brother. You're doing a good job, brother. Man, I appreciate you for the work that you're doing, bringing awareness to these important issues. The black community don't do that. They don't care. And that's sad, man. That is very, very sad, man. You would never see this on any other channel. I mean, you might see this now that I'm talking about it. Because normally when I talk about it, that's when other people copy everything that I do. Anytime I do a video, somebody will copy it. It's like nobody have no original thought. They got to copy me. Everybody's watching me. Nobody got anything else to do but complain. And the amazing part about this is I'm a father of 4 girls. So you would think that people would be like, wow, first of all, this is a father of 4 girls. And he's talking about an important topic. But instead, they get mad with me because I'm sharing my truth. This world is done, man. This world is really messed up right now. And it's not just the black community, the white community, all communities are effed up right now, fam. They're all divided. It's just a mess. It's a mess, man. I see it every day. It's one big mess. It's like a world of it's like an NPC world where everybody's in their own world and nobody cares about nothing. It's sick, man. It really is sick. People get offended quick. People judge you. They don't even know you. They judge you. They prejudge you. They already done marked you as an animal, as a monster, and you didn't even do nothing to them. It's weird, you know? People are not human anymore. The world is cold. The world is dark. Um, Nobody is concerned with children anymore. The safety of children is not important to communities no more. Um, and if you're black and you speak the truth, nobody definitely don't care because you're black. So it's not important, man. The good old days when I was growing up. Those are the good old days. I remember those days, man. You couldn't play around like that. If somebody found out you were playing around with kids, you got unalived. You got beat to a pulp. They didn't play that. Back in the day, if you got caught messing around with somebody's child, you got beat. They beat the crap out of you, or you were unalived or thrown off of a roof. I've seen this happen. It was not a game. I seen men get beat with sticks for doing goofy stuff. Then they got the cops involved. So, another young girl, innocence was taken away by some demons. And the black community, once again, turn a blind eye to it. It's crazy, man. I don't know what it is about content like this that triggers these foundational black Americans. You say you're foundational black Americans. Okay. When you have young men, young boys violating girls, why you don't talk about it? Why you never address it? Yeah, where's Crump? Where he at? Nowhere to be found. Crump never comes around because there's nobody that's white involved. If it was 3 white boys that violated a black girl, then you'll see him. Where are the where are these so-called leaders at? Where they're at? Sharpton is too old. His days are numbered. You know, Jesse already done gone. And the only time Jesse came out is when there's some sort of civil rights nonsense going on. That's when he come out. They never come out to address these issues. You know, Umar Johnson, he ain't addressing nothing. Tariq Nasheed, you ain't gonna hear him address nothing. These all of these dudes are charlatans and pawns in the game. They don't care about the community, man. They care about making money. That's all they care about. Nobody cares, man. We live in an effed up society, man. Nobody cares no more. Everything is screwed up. People are just weird now. That's why I stay to myself. I liked it that way. You know. You know what's interesting, guys? You know what's interesting? Could I be honest with you? Could I be honest? I can't wait for when this life is over. I really can't wait for when it's over. See, I'm not as invested in this life as you are. I already know this world is evil, and I know the people are evil, and I'm not connected to it because I learned from the movie The Matrix that this is the dream world. This is not the real world. And this world is so sick, it just doesn't make any sense. There is nothing about this world that is great. It's constant evil all day. The people are evil, family is evil, viewers are evil, trolls show up, nobody supports you. It's just constant madness. And nobody cares. Here I am talking about a topic that involves a child. People still complaining. This is why nobody cares. And this is why people that are men like myself, we just grow cold and we just stop caring. We just stop caring because at the end of the day, it's like nobody cares. So I'm wasting my time. But at the same time, if one person is able to be reached, if one person is able to get the message, then I guess I did my job, right? I guess. Um, I'm gonna go mow this lawn. It's supposed to rain tomorrow, so I want to mow this lawn so that the mulching clippings can feed the soil. So I'm gonna go do that and get back to my content, do my thing. You know, I'm just really disappointed with this world, guys. And some of you might be like, "That's wrong. You shouldn't say that." I don't think you understand, guys. I'm not connected to this world the way most of you are. It's not that serious. I cannot wait for this life to end. You know, that way I can transition into the real world where there's no more madness, sadness, uh, no more foolishness. Because I feel that my purpose in this world is to shed light to these issues so that most of you can be prepared for the afterlife. And I realize that this is not my home. This is not my place to stay. It's temporary. You know what I mean? So for me, I understand it. You're here for a time, then you got to go. That's why we grow old. You know, you're here for a moment to let your wisdom and your light shine. Then after that, you got to go. You know, somebody else got to take over. It's their turn now. So don't look at it as a negative. It's actually a positive, you know, because the world is evil. People are evil today, guys. Uh, there's just no love, man. I'm trying to figure out when you have stories like this and people complain and they're not proactive about this situation. What if this happened in the neck of your woods? What if somebody in your community? What if there's a story in your community that this happened to? Then what? What do you do? What's the course of action for you as a man, as a woman? If you're living in a community, a child was violated, we're trying to figure out Who did it? These are the type of things we're trying to figure out. You know, what do you do in a circumstance like that? What do we do? Do you ignore it and say, well, it wasn't my child? Because that's the way a lot of you feel. A lot of you are like, well, it wasn't my child that was violated, so I guess everything is good, right? No, that should concern you because if if 12-year-olds to 15-year-olds are SAing kids, that means something shift in the world and the world got darker, which means we have to now start to be more vigilant with our kids. This is why I don't let my kids hang with nobody. This is why I don't let my children play around with nobody else's kids because I don't know what these kids are thinking. You could live in a community and think, well, kids are kids, let them just play. I don't know these kids. I don't know what these young boys are thinking in their minds. I'm not letting my girls hang around these kids. No, because I don't know them and I don't know their parents. When I see stories like this, guys, it makes me stay more focused on doing my job to protect my girls from predators and PDF files because I don't know what people are thinking. Back in the day, we used to have community. Back in the day, people used to talk with one another. Neighbors used to talk. You used to know all your neighbors back in the day. Remember that, guys? Remember back in the day when you were growing up? You knew all your neighbors. You knew the neighbor across the street, next door to you, down the block, around the corner. You knew all your neighbors. We knew all the kids. Your mom was the neighborhood mom. You remember that? Yeah, I remember when you was growing up and you knew Derek's mom, you knew Charlene's mom, and you would say, "Hi, Miss Such and Such. Hello, Mr. Anderson. Hi." So you remember that? We knew everybody. Today we don't know nobody. It's crazy now. We don't know nobody no more. So how do we go about protecting our kids if we don't know everybody? How do we protect the community if the community is divided? How do you protect the community? It's just bad, man. And these are the type of things that I be concerned about and why I try my best to put all these videos out because see when I'm gone, when my number comes up and I got to check out, my videos are going to still be on social media. So even though I'm gone, my work still online, you know? So I'll be able to help people even when I'm gone. My legacy lives on. That's why I try to put out as much videos with quality content because I know that when my time is up, a lot of folks that are watching me now, you're going to be able to look back at my videos and be like, damn, bro, your videos are still helping me and you're not even here no more. That's why I'm speaking. I'm speaking into the future now because I know that a lot of you are going to be turning back to these videos. Some of you in the future, unfortunately, may experience this with your own child. And you may have to deal with these issues. And you're going to come back to this video. But hey, I don't wish that on you, God forbid. But at the end of the day, it's just absolutely sad that uh, people are not understanding this. It's crazy. Um, so I'm gonna try to see if I could do a follow up on this particular video, and I want to find out who the victim is. That's the number. I don't know if they released that information, but I'm gonna try to find out who the victim is, what her race is, and probably do an update on this. Um, you said, yeah, you'll get people watching your videos years later to help them with the truth. Yeah, after I'm gone. Unfortunately, after I'm gone, not Not while I'm here. You know, while I'm here, it's not important. You know, while I'm here, it's not important. Normally, when you die, when you pass on, that's normally when people celebrate you. You know, it's kind of weird, but that's what they do. Let me see. Cause they have a bunch of stories about this. Um, so what we do know about the situation is they were charged as adults. So these young boys will be facing adult charges. So that's a good thing. Um, it was up to me, they would be put to death if it was up to me. Because once a predator, always a predator. You got to get rid of them. You know what I mean? You can't have predators alive, bro. No, you got to get rid of them quickly. So guys, I'm gonna go mow this lawn because I see the clouds coming in. So it looked like it's going to be raining, and I always keep track of the weather when it comes to these type of things. Um, got a lot of things that I got to work on, a lot of things that I'm doing. So I just wanted to bring awareness to this story. Protect your kids. Don't let your children play with neighborhood kids. I know when we were growing up, we played around with our neighbors' kids and we were all having fun. In today's day, it's a different day, guys. It's a different time. Kids are now essaying kids now. And I'm not taking no chances with that type of stuff. It's one thing if kids are playing in school, they could play in school with other kids, but in like the neighborhood and stuff like that, nope, you can't play with my kids. And it doesn't mean I'm a mean person. It just means I'm protecting my kids. I don't know you and I don't know your parents. For all I know, your parents don't even like me. So it's like, why would I do that? I need to make sure that if if my kids are with somebody, I need to know that they're in good hands. And if I don't know that, I'm not putting them in your hands. Forget that. I'm not doing that. I'm not gonna have my kids going over your house, and I never been to your house. I never met you. We never broke bread. I'm not doing that. But people be doing that. People be letting their kids go outside, play with everybody, going in and out of people's houses. That's crazy, man. That's absolutely crazy. You don't ever do that because you don't know what's going on in that house. You don't let nobody, your kids, go by other people's houses. No. So we're gonna get up on out of here, guys. Rate, comment, and subscribe. I got more content coming up. I got a lot of projects that I'm working on, a lot of things that I'm pretty much pivoting over into. And I'm just trying to get away from the noise. It's a lot of noise, a lot of just negativity. I'm more focused on my solitude, my peace, my energy. You know, that's what I'm focused on. So y'all take care. Make sure you hype the video, rate the video, subscribe, and y'all have a blessed evening. And again, protect your kids. Mind who they're watching. If your children are on social media, make sure you put an app. There's this app that you can get, guys. There's this app that you can get on your cell phone. I forgot the name of it, but I have it on my daughter's computers. It's an app that you put on your phone, on your cell phone. You can monitor everything they're doing on their computer. So when your kids go online on your cell phone, you literally can monitor what they're doing. Learn to implement all of that type of stuff. You don't want to create a prison for your children. You want them to be free to evolve. You want them to learn. You want them to make their mistakes and do what they normally supposed to do. But at the same time, you need to put some parameters in place so that you can monitor what's going on. Because through this is where the devil shows up. So y'all be safe out there. I'm gonna get up on out of here, go take care of this yard, and it is what it is. So rate, comment, and subscribe, guys. I'm out of here. Peace.